Hey, what's up everyone? It's your boy Ominous, and I am back. Sorry I've been MIA for a while. It's been a hectic couple months with my wedding, honeymoon, and moving, but I'm back now and ready to share some great content. You may have seen this deck already, or not, but if you haven't, oh man, you need to use it. I went on a 14-game win streak in Ultra Ball Ring. This deck helped me climb the ranks, and I love it because it is so versatile. Well, that's enough of me talking about it. Let's go into some gameplay and show you exactly why this is the best deck to play with. Alright, I'm going to end up going second. I draw two Froakies for my hand, which is interesting, but I also have two Pokeballs and a Sylveon EX, so might get lucky here. Ooh, and now it's interesting. I draw Eevee, so that means if I use both my Pokeballs, I'll get an Eevee and my Giratina EX. So I decided to put one Eevee down on the bench and then my Giratina EX on the bench. I'm going to attach the Psychic Energy to one Eevee and use Giratina EX's ability to give it Psychic Energy. Alright, my turn again. I draw a Cyrus. I'm going to evolve Eevee into Sylveon EX. I'm going to use its ability to draw two cards. Let's see what I get. End up getting a Professor's Research and a Giant Cape, which is great. Decide to use Professor's Research, draw two more cards. Greninja and a Rare Candy. So let's use that Rare Candy. I decide to evolve the one on my bench. I'm going to use its ability to deal 20 damage to that Tapu Koko. And I honestly debated a long time on who I wanted to give this water energy. Did I want to retreat Froakie? Did I want to give it to Sylveon? Did I want to give it a Giratina EX? I end up deciding to put it on my Greninja. Opponent ends up using Sabrina, which kind of screws me here. I end up deciding, you know what, I'm going to put Sylveon EX because it'll be able to handle the damage. My turn again, draw Professor's Research. I use it, draw two more cards. Get a Greninja and a Pokemon Communication. Nothing much I can do with those. Let's use Greninja's Water Shuriken on Tapu Koko. Put it back down to 130. This is kind of where I think about it a little bit. I decide, you know what? I'm going to put the Water Energy. I'm going to retreat it with one water and put the other Froakie back up there. And now I'm going to use Broken Space below to give Greninja a third Psychic Energy. So now if he attacks, he'll just attack my Froakie, unless he has a Cyrus to pull Sylveon EX. And I called it so well. He did have a Cyrus, pulled my Sylveon EX, but this turn I'd be able to add an energy to Giratina EX and deal the 130 to get rid of that Tapu Koko, so my opponent concedes. This time I'm going first. I have Froakie and Giratina EX in my hand. decide to put Giratina EX in the active spot, and then Froakie on the bench. So I decide to use the Pokeball to get myself an Eevee. Use now Professor's Research to draw 2 more cards. I get another Eevee, another Professor's Research. Okay, I decide to put 1 Eevee on in the bench, and then use Giratina's ability to get the Psychic Energy. My turn, I end up drawing a rare candy. I decide to use Professor's Research to draw 2 cards, get a Sylveon EX, which is great. I now decide to use a red card because I see my opponent has 5 cards in their hand. Now they'll only have 3. I now am going to evolve Eevee into Sylveon EX and draw 2 more cards. I end up drawing a Pokemon Communication and a Sabrina, which was interesting. I decide for a little bit if I want to use the Pokemon Communication or not to see if I can somehow pull a Greninja. I decide, you know what, I'm just going to attach a Psychic Energy to Giratina EX and then use its ability for another energy. Looks like my opponent has a similar deck to me, has this 2 Froakie on the bench now. I pulled the Greninja, which is awesome, use the rare candy, evolve Froakie into Greninja. I am now going to use Water Shuriken, and I'm going to deal damage to one of the Froakie on the back line with the energy. I now decide that I'm going to put the Water Energy on Giratina EX, and I just end up attacking. Get rid of that Eevee. I debated for a while what I wanted to do here, and then I decided, you know what, I can use Water Shuriken on the Froakie in the active spot. Now it'll have damage, and if I need to pull it next turn, I can use a Cyrus. This turn, I use Sabrina to pull in the other Froakie in the back line, so that way my Giratina EX can attack it and not get the Rocky Helmet damage and get rid of it. Decide to put a Psychic Energy on Sylveon EX so it can possibly attack next turn if needed. Decide, you know what, I'm going to play a little risky here. I'm going to use the Pokemon Communication on the Eevee, see if I can pull Froakie, which I do end up doing. Put that on the bench, and now we're going to attack. Poor guy had no shot here. I'm not even going to do anything. I'm just going to straight up attack, win the game. I could even use Greninja's ability on that Giratina and pulled him forward and attacked him with my Giratina EX, but good win here. Going second here, and I can see that I'm going to go up against a Solgaleo deck. Anytime I see Steel as an energy, I already know. Well, Metal, sorry. Decided to put Eevee on my active spot and Froakie on the bench. Alright, ends up being my turn. I draw a Pokeball, I use it, I end up getting Giratina EX, which is great. I always love having that on my first turn of play. Gonna put that on my bench. I decide, you know what, I'm gonna tackle Water Energy to my Eevee, just in case I might need to maneuver it, and I'm gonna use the ability of Giratina to attach that Psychic Energy. Pretty unlucky. He already has Solgaleo out there and will definitely attack me next turn. Decide to evolve Eevee into Sylveon EX. Use that ability to get those two cards. I end up pulling a red card in a Greninja. Let's now use Rare Candy on Froakie. Gonna use that Water Shuriken on Solgaleo. Get that 20 damage on it. Not sure what to do here, but I'm going to play a little risky. I'm going to put a Giant's Cape on my Sylveon EX so it can last at least one more turn. Because Solgaleo will do the 140 unless it's got a red, then it'll do 160. Attach the Water Energy to Giratina EX, use its ability. Now I'll have a Psychic Energy next turn to attack with it. He ends up putting the energy on Solgaleo. Luckily attacks, does 140, only puts me at 20, which is great. It's going to be my turn. I draw the Eevee. I'm going to put that down. This is awesome because now I can retreat Sylveon EX, put Giratina EX in there. I'm going to attach the energy so it can attack. Use Water Shuriken to deal 20 damage to bring it down to 130. Now Giratina EX will attack and get rid of that Solgaleo. Alright, I'm able to put the Water Energy on Eevee, retreat it. I'm going to use Water Shuriken on Skarmory. Not sure why I do this, it's just a little extra play. I use Cyrus on Skarmory, bring it into the active spot, now Giratina EX will take it out. I think for some reason I thought it used Stipend, so I wasn't going to be able to do the full 130 damage. It's the only explanation I could think of, but we get the win here.